Hello and welcome to another episode of The Real Franchise. This is a video series designed to deliver real information, real answers, and real insights into franchising. This series is brought to you by James Home Services Australia. My name's Justin Kelly. I'm one of the owners of the company. And I also look after walking people through an information process when you or anyone is considering joining us. And one of the people I walked through that information process about 12 months ago, I think it was, roughly this time last year, wasn't it?
A bit over. Yeah, a few months over.
Yeah, right. Okay. So about 12 months ago. So, Darren, I'll let you introduce yourself. Where are you? I guess what were you doing before we first met?
Yeah, so my name's Darren Jones. I have a lawn and garden business as well as a window and exterior business with James Home Services. So two separate businesses that work quite well together. I'm actually a qualified chef, and I've had the fortune of being working in the marketing and business world, in the corporate world, as well as owning our own restaurants and all that sort of stuff in the past. I decided to take this journey after looking into other franchises, and I decided to take this journey just to give our family some more flexibility. As you would understand, the corporate world and the chefing world is very time-consuming, and this has given me the opportunity to have a little bit more or a lot more balance in life with my family.
Yep.
So
yeah, okay. And was there anything in particular that prompted you to start looking at options? Because you were running a restaurant or chefing, and what was it? Was there anything in particular that sparked, I'm going to start looking at a change?
Like I said, I really wanted a change in a big way, but earning the kind of money that I was earning in my former roles, I needed to be able to have some sort of, not so much of a guarantee, but more of a belief in the company that I was going with were going to be able to deliver what I was needing to achieve to meet my goals. And James Home Services was the only one that was able to give me that confidence.
Right. So you went through this information process that I take people, and Bella, who works with me, takes people through. Was there anything through that process in particular that really gave you that confidence, or was it just a combination of everything? Was there anything that stood out?
Honestly, the genuineness of the team, the head office team that I met when I was going through that. You guys actually genuinely care. We're not just another number to you guys. The fact that you did so much research into our position before agreeing to take us on as a franchisee, that really stood out. Whereas everybody else was just like, just give us some money and you can sign up. They didn't really put their due diligence in as much as what you guys did. And just the overall support that I received with the pre-meetings, meeting with the other franchisees, the openness and honesty of everyone involved, and the support structure. That was a big thing for me, because being a CEO in the past, I know as a CEO, you can be there. You're not in the you're not on the coalface. You're running the business. And I know with a small business, you do get caught up on the coalface. You're not necessarily standing back and looking at the business and going, right, this isn't working, let's try this instead. Whereas with the coaches, i.e. Ian, it's great to have that support to go, hey, this needs tweaking, or these numbers aren't right. Let's have a look at this, that, and the other. And that's where the system for me, the agility of the system and the support of the head office team, you're not bound to doing business your way, the James Home Services way. Yes, you're bound to the processes and the the guarantee, the service guarantee, all that sort of stuff. But with your mind, if you have the right mindset and you're able to step back and look at what you're doing and assess it with your coach, you're really able to be agile enough, if you're truthful with yourself, to be able to change paths fairly quickly with the system and with the coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what really attracted me to it. It's
So you started, was it July last year you started? July 25?
August.
So we're now August 26. Okay, so you started physically. Yeah, I thought it was about this time last year. I should have had a look before we jumped on this. But yeah, I know it's roughly 12 months. Now, yes, obviously we rave about our systems and I think, they're second to none. And full credit to you, you took those and you implemented and you had an incredible start, right? But you deserved it because you simply implemented the system and worked with your coach, from my opinion anyway. Was there anything, because a lot of people that are listening to this, their concern rightly is, particularly at the beginning, how quickly does it take off? Am I going to be earning the sort of money I need? Like a lot of businesses take 2 to 3 years to get decent drawings out of. Within a few short weeks, you were turning over big numbers. What was it in particular for you that was generating the income?
To start with, it was just following the systems that you taught in at the 8-step training. Don't get me wrong, I do have a marketing background, so I had that sort of in my favor. But it was more the mindset, like skills can be taught, skills develop over time. In this kind of industry, cleaning, lawn mowing, all that sort of stuff, skills develop over time. It's more mindset. And the biggest thing, my advice to anybody that's looking into a franchise with James Home Services is to understand you get what you put in. Yeah. I worked my butt off for the first 12 months. Everyone says the first 12 weeks, I changed it to months, as you know. So it's only the last couple of months that I've sort of taken my foot off the gas and sat back and went, right, we can sort of breathe now. What's the next steps? Where are we going to grow next? We're putting another ute on the road in spring for lawn mowing. Putting another a full-time ute on the road for the windows and exterior. So mindset, being agile and honest to yourself. Look, I stuffed up here. I underquoted this. Where's the lesson? How can I make sure this doesn't happen again? These strategies aren't working. The way I'm doing this isn't working. So pivot. Be able to pivot, fix it, and keep the mindset of that's a lesson learned. Let's not do that again. Yep.
So you're now 12 months in and you've got an awesome business that you've built and building. For most people, they're happy with that. But you're 3 months in, and as a couple, you and Rochelle now have 3 James businesses. So I think it was 6-8 months in, you started a window and exterior business to complement, to work alongside your lawn business. And then I think just in the last month, so to speak, thereabouts, Rochelle has kicked off her cleaning business in the same area. How's that going? A husband and wife working together in different businesses, but together, is that?
Look, to be honest with you, it's going really well. The way we've set it up is I'm here for support as a husband, and the coach Ian is here for the business support. Yes, I give her a hand on the system side of things from time to time. If something goes wrong, I'll give her a hand with some advice. If she needs a little bit of help, I'll jump in and help out, and vice versa. If one of my guys calls in sick, she'll come out and mow lawns with me. But at the same time, it is her business and my businesses are my businesses. And that's how we do have that segregation, just so we can still be husband and wife when we're at home.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Very important. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's working out really, really well because we've got each other to bounce ideas off. And we've also got a large service offering in the same area now. So that opens us up to being able to make it more feasible to do different marketing styles like stalls, fates, cinema marketing. It's $250 a month. We haven't done it yet, but we're talking about it. But it's not feasible, in my opinion, to do it just for lawn and garden. But if you're doing it for lawn and garden, windows and exterior and internal cleaning, it makes it worthwhile in your local areas.
Yeah. Yep. So what would you're obviously busy with having the 3 businesses and staff and teams of people. What does your average day look like? What time do you start? What time you sort of finish?
Yep. So I'm usually hitting the road by 7 a.m. in the morning. We're usually at the first job anywhere between 7:15 to 7:30, depending on traffic.
Yep.
And we're usually home by 2 to 3 p.m. And that's doing on a busy day, that's doing 15 to 20 lawns.
Yep.
In the beginning, it wasn't like that because obviously over time, I've really worked on getting my route very dense. Yes. Having 4 or 5 clients within a minute drive of each other.
Yep. Excellent.
And started dropping areas that are too far away. So that for me, when I was able to start going, okay, these are too far away, I'm going to drop them. I'll refer them to other franchisees and all that sort of thing. That's when the business started to become more hyper profitable, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's interesting you talk about this because so many of the people I take through information process are like, no, I'm able to cover half of Brisbane. I want to cover half of Brisbane. And it's like, no, you go broke doing that. It's a bit, we call it, like you said, nesting and just, and all of the focus. And it's not about stopping people from going traveling. It's about extending your broke, the cost of travel. You're not doing jobs. Like you said, you can pump out that many lawns because they're nested and they're close.
Yeah, so, especially when you're paying staff. As soon as you start paying staff, you do not want any more than a 2-minute drive between jobs.
Yep, that's it. You're paying them to sit in the car, not earning your money.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Darren, since you've started, I guess, is there anything that surprised you, anything good or bad that you weren't sort of expecting that's been different to?
Yeah, on the downside, and this would go for every large business, corporate business, franchise business. There is a little bit of restrictions around some things, but at the end of the day, I understand why they're there, and that's for brand security. But it's not so much of a downfall that it harms the business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a restriction on certain things, like the Facebook page, for instance. But it's not enough to stop you from growing. It's just you just need to find a workaround, which is supplied in the 8-step training anyway, and that's the community groups and all that type of thing. So and like I said, I understand why those, and I've had a chat with you guys at head office around that, being a marketing guy. But we found ways to work around. And so there is a little bit of restriction, but at the same time, not so much restricted that you can't find workarounds that are within the business model of the James Home Services model, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The level of support, especially with in 3 areas here. One, most importantly, is the business coach. My business coach that I work with is amazing. He's more like a best friend than what he is a business coach, to be honest. He pulls me up when I'm going a million miles an hour, on the tools as well as trying to do this. Oh, let's do this. No, bring it back in. Because when you're on the coalface, like I said before, you just I'm just that kind of guy that just wants to get in there, get it done. So the coaching is second to none. I've never seen anything like it in a corporate business before. The systems and the support from head office with feedback for those systems, if that makes sense. So there's been a few things that I've
feedback,
given feedback on. Some things have been pushed back because it's not great for the whole of everybody in it, but a lot of them have been implemented and used throughout the entire network. And the other side of things is the branding, the marketing in the first 12 weeks, but it's also the support you get through the agency work, the DVA work, all that sort of stuff, and the support that that section of the business, Joe in particular, actually gives us with that flow and helping us with logging the jobs and all that sort of stuff, and the guidance to make sure that we're staying in compliance with everything. So
that is amazing. And full credit for those listening, just to explain a bit, we have someone in our call center, Jo. She's amazing, and she's got relationships with all sorts of care agencies, and I actually release all the payments each week she does up the file and sends it to me just to approve out of the bank account to all the payments to. And it's amazing how many of our business owners she's lined up jobs for week after week because of the relationships she has with these care agencies. And it's just an added bonus, I think. I don't know of any other organisation like this that does that for its business owners.
And without charging for leads.
That's right. There's no charge. It's just a service.
And that's another thing that I was quite surprised with too is there was no lead charges, whereas everybody else, they wanted to charge you for each lead. There's one in particular that starts at $26 a minimum, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you have to pay it if you take it on. So and that was one of another decision making components for me was the not charging for leads.
It's something I'm passionate about. I hope, lead fees to me, and you understand this, you generate so many leads because you're doing the right stuff, the stuff that are part of the system. And in a system that charges leads, like I can look across our network and we can see who's getting leads, and we know those are the guys doing the right thing. And yet we're in an organisation that charges lead fees, someone like you who's doing the right thing is almost getting penalised by getting billed big time because you're active and you're marketing yourself and you're doing the stuff to generate work, and then you cop a bill. So it just, lead fees are something I'm a bit passionate about, anti-lead fees. But I'm on the record now, so I've got to be careful. So
and see, that's the thing. Like if you follow the system, yes, given I am a marketing guy, so I understand the importance of GBP, Google Business Profile, but I've really lent into the Google Business Profile because I do know its value, and I've got over 120 odd 5-star reviews, and the majority of my work comes through Google Business Profile. In over summer, I turned over 500 leads down because I just could not keep up. I couldn't even get to quote them. So, and that's the beauty of the 8-step training that you guys provide is you teach everybody how to do that.
Very good. Well, I won't take up too much more. One last question, I guess. So in 12 months, you've now got 3 businesses with James. You've built some great assets because they are an asset. What advice would you give to someone who's looking for a change, not just jump into James. But what advice would you give them, I guess specifically, maybe things to think about, things to look at when they're doing their research? Any particular things that you come to mind?
Yes. Support, number one.
Yep.
Like we were discussing, find out about lead fees as well as franchise fees, because the other franchises charge for both, which ends up costing a fair bit more than what you realise in the end.
Yeah.
Really do some research into seasonality. Lawn and garden is very seasonal. That's why I've packaged the windows and exterior with the lawn and garden, so I don't have a down season. So I prop up the lawn and garden business with the window and exterior during the winter. In summer, I don't know how that's going to go yet. That's yet to be seen. But it definitely, and look, last winter when we first started, we were doing heavy landscaping, which just wasn't any good for us. And that's why this year we've gone with the window and exterior. So having that taken into consideration, that lawn and garden is seasonal, and having a backup plan for that. And really making sure you got the right mindset going into it. Because mindset is everything in a service business.
Totally
Customer
agree.
service is everything. So if you say you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just recorded a podcast, I think it was last week, with our CEO, Rhiannon, and we were talking about the key factors that, make key factors for people that we choose to work with, people like yourself. And the number one was mindset. I've developed over the last few years at what we call it our matrix. And as I'm meeting with people going through this process, I'm filling in this matrix for every individual. And most of the things we're looking at as to whether or not we approve an individual, most of it's around mindset, because we've seen, you get someone like yourself come in with the right mindset and can achieve incredible things. And yet the wrong mindset, using the exact same training, same skills, same system. We've even had some recently, 2 blokes start on the same day, do the same training, same business, go away. And one has absolutely, I use this example all the time, knocked it out of the park, right mindset. The other one, totally wrong mindset, and right from day one, and hasn't, and it's like, we have a great system. It's just like turning up to the gym, isn't it? If, people take a gym membership, and then if they want results, they got to turn up. And if you turn up to your business, you can do incredible things. And that's another thing that I love about the James network, is that we're all in it together. Like I can call TJ from Windows Exterior and say, hey, mate, I'm on this job. I can't get rid of this stain. What do I use? Then I've got other LNG guys that call me and go, hey, my customer's got this weed. What do I use? So we're all in it together. And I quite often get phone calls in regards to marketing advice and all that sort of stuff. And also having a service offering that you can upsell. So I do a lot of lawn treatments to get rid of weeds, different types of weeds, nut grass, all that sort of stuff. It's a package that I add on to what we do for the client. So it's a full service package. And that's the thing about the James Home Services system, is you're not restricted to just lawn and garden. You can add in different things to upsell, but also more importantly than upselling, it's not all about sales, but it's about providing what the customer needs and wants. Yes, absolutely. That's awesome. Well, on that note, I think that's a great place to wrap up. Darren, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
And congratulations on what you've achieved in 12 months. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 12 months happens. What happens in the next 12. So, yeah, well done.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks. And for those listening, thanks for joining us for another episode. Feel free to drop any comments below if there's things you'd like us to talk about or questions to answer. But otherwise, we hope to see you for another episode next week on The Real Franchise. Have a good day.